Hi, let's talk about how narcissistic narrative control hijacks empathy, your empathy specifically, and how it usurps your position as a person. And that's what creates the cognitive dissonance and the sense of like, wait, what am I seeing here? Am I seeing this, or am I the insane one? So I'm going to give you 3 examples that I can think of that were just, present for me. One, I would be told very often as a child that the girlfriend, my father's girlfriend before my mother, used to lock my sisters out of the house. And I remember driving in the car and like hearing the story and like just being like perplexed, because also I was locked out of the house and I had already been locked out of the house at this point. So it is this colonization of reality, this hijacking where I was put into a position where here is the person who's locking me out, telling me what a monster somebody else is for doing that to my sisters. So I'm here to identify my siblings as a victim of some monster out there, and she's the empathic one going, oh my God, that was horrible that happened for them. Meanwhile, it's a projective mechanism to unconsciously discard her own guilt and hijack and colonize my reality, as if to say, I decide what's considered trauma here. So imagine the cognitive dissonance that creates, right? So I'm thinking about another time too, how they will colonize like stories and act like your stories are their own, or other people's stories are more true than your story. So I'm thinking of this time, and I am not in any way saying that this person was a narcissist, but we were teenagers. But I'll never forget, I've never been a sloppy drunk, and I've never blacked out. I've never forgotten anything. I will never forget telling her about what this guy had said to me, word for word. I said, like, this is what he said. It was like so nice. 2 weeks later, she tells me that he says the exact same, that he had said the exact same thing to her years ago when they were dating. I mean, verbatim, word for word. Well, if that was true, why wouldn't she have said that to me when I told her that? It's almost like she was like thinking, oh, she's drunk. She's going to forget that she told me this. And then I can usurp her position and act like she's not special because he said it to me too, right? Or there was this other time where I was friends with somebody who I would say is probably clinically narcissistic. And I remember her, she would use words that I would teach her, which is like, fine, like we're all teaching each other something, right? It's nothing special. I don't think anything special about that. But she at one point said, oh, this other person is such a genius because if you just teach her a word one time, she just picks it up. Meanwhile, and I've also had friends that do this, where I will tell them something, and then like a month later, they'll come at me like, oh, this, I just learned about this, and I've been doing a lot of research on this, and I can't, blah, 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 like acting like they're telling me what I had already told them. That's crazy making. That's gaslighting. Excuse me. That is nullifying. That is projective, right? So not only will they do the whole like, hey, I'm going to decide what's trauma here by saying somebody else's story was more true than yours, and they will literally try to confuse your memories so that you don't remember what they did to you, but you remember somebody else was a victim of somebody else and they were compassionate about what happened to somebody else, but not to you. They're hijacking your empathy. They'll hijack your intellect and say that you didn't give it to them, somebody else did, and totally look in your face and nullify the fact that like maybe you taught them that thing, right? So narcissist narrative control it's really mind-boggling, but you can't see it when you're inside of it. So they are so projective. I mean, they cannot imagine the people that they target to not be doing exactly what they're doing. They literally will project, well, this person's a liar, while they lie about everything that they do. This person's a cheater, that justifies me cheating, even though the person might not be cheating. This person is selfish, that justifies me being selfish. They literally cannot conceptualize that that other person isn't actually like them at all. Which, you know, I'm not sure how that fits in here, but I do want to say, like, in their own mind, they will go to great lengths to control the narrative. And even when you're a young child, they will be using your empathy against you. And then where does that empathy get targeted? Usually at the person who's trying to hijack it. Wow, you know, they're really empathic. Wow, so they'll twist these lies to make themselves look like the victim, or to make other people look like the victim while they're victimizing you, and then trying to twist the memories so that you don't remember that they're doing it to you. So they will also, you know, in other situations, just totally think that, you know, in the case where she would go, oh, she's such a genius because she picks up on a word. And like, I was sitting there thinking, like, do you not think that people see this? Like, do you think we're insane? She was going, look how cool I am because I can do this to you. I can kind of exploit your intellect and take it on as my own and act like that's what's going on. She couldn't take any position to go, oh, you said that word a couple weeks ago and I really loved it. Thanks so much for sharing it with me. She had to go, oh, this other person's a genius because she can just like adapt words, and like that's just like a normal person in my mind. But to her it was like this, oh my god, I can just like exploit this person's intellect, and look how genius I am for doing this. At the time I didn't see that. I saw it as an insecurity, and I guess that's really what it is. But they will totally usurp your position right in front of you, take your memories, say that they didn't happen, say that they happened to somebody else, take your research, say that they researched it. So they will control the narrative, not even just with other people. And that's what I'm trying to say. They will get in here, hijack your empathy, and control the narrative. And even in that moment where that girl's like, oh, she's so genius because she takes words and does this thing. It's like, she's trying to make me feel like she's some grand, she's doing something great. She's trying to make herself feel like she's doing something great while being like, oh, this other person does something great, which is like take the words and use them. That's just called learning, right? But in her mind, she's going, this makes me great. And I'm going to totally nullify that you, who were great enough to share that with me, were actually the person who taught me the word that I just used. And then all of a sudden said it was like this other person who like, she even was like, oh, I taught her this word. And then she just started using it. Like, mind you, she's like 40 years old at the time. So they will nullify you in any way that they can right in front of your face. And that's how they hijack you, because you will sit there and go like, wait, I do have empathy for this person. I do see the insecurity here that's making this happen. But they will find a way to make you not see the victim, or I'm sorry, the perpetration there. That's how they hijack your empathy.